You can't go out. I won't allow it.
Won't allow it?
It's against God's will.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for times when we didn't have to wait long to see a character get what was coming to them. Just a heads up, there could be some spoilers.
Why is she so important to you?
She's not important to me. She's important to you.
Number 30, On the Fence, Halloween. Oscar walks Allison home from a Halloween party after she has a fight with her boyfriend. At first, Oscar seems like a supportive friend until he ruins his goodwill by kissing Allison.
What are you doing?
You deserve better, right?
When Oscar realizes how badly he screwed up, he makes excuses for his behavior. Sure, Oscar may not have been as bad as Dr. Sartain, but that little stunt he pulls makes him a less sympathetic character. When Oscar tries to blame his actions on booze and his libido, you can tell it won't be long before Michael shows up to punish the teen for his indiscretions.
Please someone help me!
Oscar, come on!
Please, dear God! Please!
Number 29, Winners Don't Shoot Dope. Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. During a high school senior trip to New York, Rennie finds more trouble in the city than just Jason. She's kidnapped by a couple of criminals when her group winds up in a bad part of town.
You look like a real party girl, princess. You want to go on a date with me and my friend? If you're free, that is.
Taking her to a secluded alley, one of the criminals drugs her and then begins to attack her. Fortunately, Jason shows up and stops the criminal by jabbing him forcefully with his own syringe.
I think I'm in love.
It's one of those rare moments in a Friday the 13th movie where Jason does a good thing, albeit unwittingly. Number 28, Shattering the Glass Ceiling, Bride of Chucky. You have to be pretty sleazy to offend Tiffany, Chucky's twisted partner in crime. Nevertheless, Russ and Diane, a newlywed couple that Jesse and Jade run into in a hotel after they elope, manage to do just that.
Excuse me, the door was open. I didn't realize there was anybody in here. Russ? I thought we were getting a suite.
Whoa. Who's this?
I thought we were getting a suite.
No, this is our room.
Right before leaving Jesse and Jade's room, Diane takes Jesse's wallet. Tiffany witnesses this petty crime and doesn't appreciate it. Later, when Russ and Diane are fooling around in their hotel room, Tiffany gets back at them. The way she takes them out is so gruesome and creative, it wins over Chucky.
I love you.
Number 27, Losing His Manhood, Teeth. In this movie, Dawn is able to turn the tables on predators that take advantage of her due to her peculiar condition. After a swim, Dawn and Toby go inside a cave and get a little intimate.
Let's go back.
Okay.
Toby wants to go all the way, but Dawn doesn't want to. Nevertheless, Toby pushes on anyway. What he doesn't know, however, is that Dawn has teeth down there, and they can chomp down as a defense mechanism. Toby gets a hard lesson in respecting boundaries when he's emasculated as a result of his assault.
Toby?
Number 26, Catapulted Out of the Cornfield, Freddy vs. Jason. While Gib is passed out in the middle of a cornfield during a party, an unknown partygoer adorned with brightly colored glow sticks forces himself on her. If it wasn't bad enough that Gib is going through this assault, she also has to fight for her life while Freddy is hunting her down in the dream world.
You're the one that killed Trey!
Oh, don't worry about my little errand, boy. The only thing to fear is fear himself.
Once again, Jason stops an assault by impaling the partygoer and flinging him to the next county. Unfortunately, though, Gib also gets the sharp end of the same weapon that took out the partygoer, so she doesn't get to benefit from Jason's delivery of karma.
She's mine! Mine! Mine!
Number 25, Wheel of Misfortune, Pet Sematary 2. Clyde follows in the proud tradition of psychotic delinquents in a Stephen King movie.
Guess your dad's not here to save you now, is he? I'm not afraid of you. Yeah?
In this scene, he holds down Jeff and starts tormenting the new kid in town by threatening to maim him with the spinning wheel of a bike. Fortunately for Jeff, the sheriff shows up and stops the torture session before we get to see whether Clyde would follow through on his threat. Unfortunately for Clyde, though, the sheriff recently turned into a zombie with a sadistic streak, and he gives the punk a taste of his own medicine.
Stop it, man!
Number 24, Swimming with the Sharks, The Shallows. Stranded on a rock, poor Nancy can't swim to shore because of a shark that has previously attacked her, so she's dependent on the kindness of strangers to help her.
Turn around! Come on!
When a man comes to the beach, Nancy is optimistic that he can contact someone that would be able to rescue her. Unfortunately, he's not willing to help, and instead he steals from her backpack. When the drunk man goes into the water to help himself to Nancy's surfboard, he is fatally attacked by the shark that's been targeting Nancy. Number 23, Drag Race, The Final Destination. This series is full of rich examples of characters being done in by their misdeeds, such as Hunt, who seals his doom by accidentally turning on a pool drain with a water gun he took from a kid.
That's funny, huh? Give me the gun.
No!
Another solid example is Carter, an extreme racist who tries to terrorize George, an African-American security guard. One night, Carter sets up a cross to burn in front of George's house, but since this is a Final Destination film, things start to go awry. The scene ironically mocks Carter's racism by playing the song Why Can't We Be Friends, while Carter suffers the consequences of his hate. Number 22, Eaten by His Daughter, Night of the Living Dead. Harry Cooper was a real heel to Ben during the zombie apocalypse, as they had a strong disagreement over whether to ride it out in the cellar or brave the outside.
You're insane. The cellar's the safest place.
I'm telling you, they can't get in here.
And I'm telling you, those things turned over our car. We were damn lucky to get away at all.
At one point, Harry had Ben locked out of the house when Ben's plan to escape the farmhouse backfired. However, he officially went too far when he tried to take away Ben's firearm. Fortunately, Ben got it right back and shot Harry. When Harry stumbled down the stairs to the cellar, his daughter's reanimated corpse was right there waiting for him.
Oh, baby.
So much for the cellar being a source of safety. Number 21, Going Out in a Blaze, Christine. Buddy Repperton is another classic Stephen King delinquent with an over-the-top mean streak who has it out for Arnie. Blaming Arnie for getting him expelled, Buddy and his gang demolish Arnie's car, the titular Christine. What Buddy doesn't know, however, is that the car he messed with has a mind of its own. One night, the car tracks Buddy down while he's out with his friend Richie. The chase scene between Christine and Buddy is tense, especially with the synthesized score that was co-written by director John Carpenter. Buddy is a rotten dude, but you almost kind of feel bad for him when he's running for his life. Number 20, Pop Goes the Xenomorph, Alien Resurrection. After 3 movies of extraterrestrial terror, you'd think humanity would have learned that the xenomorphs are better off dead. Ripley certainly thought so, but the conniving Dr. Wren decides to nullify her sacrifice by making a clone of her and the Alien Queen. Then, when his research not so surprisingly puts everyone in peril, Wren has the gall to betray everyone again in the name of science.
Fine. Then I kill her, and you kill me, and we all die, and nobody goes home!
Since he played a significant role in reviving the xenomorph threat, it's particularly poetic that he meets his end through an up-close and personal look at a chest burster. Given that he put the entire galaxy at risk, he should consider this quick death a real mercy. Number 19, Taking a Hard Look in the Mirror, Candyman. Throughout the movie, Trevor Lyle was not a faithful husband to Helen. He replaced Helen with another grad student named Stacy and moved in with her after Helen had been placed under psychiatric care.
I'd like to speak to my husband.
I'm sure we can arrange a visit.
A visit? Have I been committed?
After Helen's death, Trevor had the nerve to grieve his late wife by saying her name 5 times in front of a mirror. To Trevor's detriment, Helen had become a new incarnation of Candyman, so Trevor unwittingly summoned her vengeful spirit.
What's the matter, Trevor?
Scared of something.
Given everything that happened to your wife based on her involvement with the Candyman urban legend, maybe don't ever say anything in front of a mirror. Number 18. Tiger Food, Army of the Dead. If Martin's fate is any indication, revenge is a dish best served as, well, a dish. After leaving his entire team of operatives for dead, it's only fitting that he ends up with an even worse fate.
Martin, let us out of here.
Oh my God, I got you twice.
Martin's getaway attempt only puts him face to face with a very hungry, zombified tiger. Without getting into the bloody details, let's just say the film definitely earns its R rating during this scene. It's not quick, it's not pretty, and based on Martin's screams, it's not painless either. But since he's the one who put himself in this situation, it's hard to feel too bad for him. Number 17, not so urban legend, Trick or Treat. Whether they like it or not, these teens were held to the golden rule, or at least an excessive version of it. They weren't content taunting Rhonda with an urban legend about killer kids. They went all the way to make her experience it.
Dad, you're all dead!
Rhonda, calm down. It was all just a trick. Look, none of this is real. It was just a trick. A bad joke.
I'd say it was a pretty good one.
But irony was apparently on the agenda for the night, since the pranksters soon found themselves on the other end of the hunting knife. Except their assailants aren't in costumes. They're the real deal.
Rhonda, open the gate!
Let us in, please!
It is no treat. And it's no trick. It is just a bloodbath soaked in satire. That's why, as a general rule of thumb, messing with undead children is usually frowned upon. The carnage even makes their principal's death by werewolf look tame, which is really saying something. Number 16, A Killer Role, Scream 3. Angelina may not technically be the final girl, but she does play one in the in-universe Stab 3.
Sorry! Jennifer Gale, look, I found a secret passage.
Roman's dead.
What?
Unfortunately, her role ends up on the cutting room floor. She's definitely no Sydney, and proves as much when she admits to sleeping with the producer to get the part.
To get a leading role just to die here with second-rate celebrities like you two!
Then somehow, Angelina thinks it's everyone else's fault that she's now in a mansion with a bloodthirsty killer. When she goes off on her own, she ends up running right into the arms of a certain masked assailant.
You guys should get out too! It's crazy to still be here!
Evidently, Ghostface is quite the strict director. Once he cut, Angelina never got a second take. Number 15, Spa Day, Final Destination 5.
Yo, Buddha. Slow down on the rice cakes.
When a bridge collapse nearly wipes out his entire department, Isaac decides to mourn his colleagues by rifling through their belongings. Except the spa coupon he finds isn't for a massage, it's for acupuncture.
Wait. Are those things even sterilized? No, I'm not catching any diseases unless I've earned them.
Once he's all poked up, a wobbly table and gravity turn him into a very unhappy shish kebab. The worst part, though, is that the needles aren't even what kill him. Although, given the pain, he probably wishes they had. Instead, Isaac spends his final moments desperately crawling to safety, only for his old friend Gravity to flatten his head via a falling Buddha statue. If that's not divine retribution, we don't know what is.
You're saying it's a freak accident.
Yeah, raise your hand if you believe that.
Who dies during a massage? Seriously.
Number 14, Human Sushi, Piranha 3D. Nothing sinks empathy quicker than a stereotypical horror movie jock's will to live.
Kelly! Baby! What happened to, hanging with us today? Is that your boyfriend or something?
No. He's just some guy from school. Someone who says he has backstage passes when he actually doesn't. Have a good day, Todd.
Come on, Kelly!
Todd seemingly has no qualms motorboating through a soup of human remains as long as he gets to safety. But because of his lack of humanity, it's not the piranhas that end up sealing his fate. When a girl's hair gets stuck in the propeller, the frenzied swimmers end up capsizing the boat. No one gets to live, least of all Todd. The piranhas gobble him up faster than fish food, but the blood of everyone else is partially on his hands, or at least what's left of them. Number 13, Runaway Train, Train to Busan. The only things scarier than the zombies are these selfish passengers. They outright refuse to help Suk-woo and the others, even though their group includes women, children, and the elderly. When Suk-woo breaks into the front train car, the passengers sheltered there quarantine him and the others in a completely different car. But by locking the door so tightly, the rude train-goers are left with nowhere to go when one of their own decides they're better off dead. And honestly, it's hard to blame her.
고생 많았다, 언니.
As bad as it sounds, there is some sweet vindication in watching those who denied Suk-woo help now begging for it themselves. Number 12, A Midsummer's Nightmare, Midsommar.
Well, I'm doing my research on European midsummer traditions. These guys are just tagging along.
Mr. Pell's invited us to an authentic hippie midsummer at his yodeling farm.
You'd think that a person studying cultural festivals would, above all else, respect the boundaries of what they're researching. Not Josh, though. He's expressly told on multiple occasions that he can't take photos of the commune's sacred texts.
Can I take a photograph?
What?
Photograph.
No, absolutely not.
Okay, sorry.
So naturally, he waits until it's nighttime and then does just that. The cult doesn't take his infringement well, and before Josh can even admire his work, they confiscate both his camera and his life. While their methods are certainly cruel and unusual, it's a tad vindicating to see Josh almost immediately face the consequences of his actions. After all, in this case, curiosity totally killed the cameraman. Number 11, Mother Knows Best, Barbarian. From his very first scene, it's clear that AJ Gilbride is not a very good guy. Then after Mother nearly bludgeons his head off, hopes are high he's seen the error of his ways. But in what could have been his true moment of redemption, he tosses Tess off a water tower just to save himself.
Oh my God, are you okay? I'm so sorry. I had no choice, you know? She was gonna kill us both, and I had no time to think.
After such a despicable act, it's hard not to cheer as Mother finally gets her claws in him. She starts with the eyes, but rest assured, there's not much left of AJ at all by the time she's finished.
I'm saving you. You're okay.
All his last-minute charade did was prove that Tess really is Mother's favorite. Number 10, Brandon Plays with Dolls, Megan. They say boys will be boys, but the antagonistic Brandon takes it a couple of steps too far. Unfortunately for him, his latest victim Katie has a certain toy backing her up. In fact, Megan says it best herself.
You need to learn some manners, Brandon.
So, she gives him a real earful of knowledge. So much so that his entire ear comes clean off.
This is the part where you run.
And that's just the start of his problems, since the sentient toy then chases him through the woods and right into oncoming traffic. Following that spectacle, Megan's message is loud and clear. It's safe to say no one will be picking on Katie anytime soon. Number 9, And Then There Were None, Cabin Fever. If this were a different kind of film, Jeff's survivability would almost be impressive. When the bodies start rising, he pieces out with a couple of beers and isn't seen again until the end of the film.
Jeff! Stop! I don't want to get sick. I don't want any of us getting sick.
By then, most of his friends are 6 feet deep, or wish they were. So naturally, he celebrates his own survival by dancing on their graves.
My God. Oh, I made it. I made it.
His glee doesn't last long, though. Jeff soon becomes intimately acquainted with a policeman's bullets, fired by local cops under strict orders to shoot any who are infected. It seems that hiding out didn't buy him that much more time after all.
You got rid of that other one, right?
Hey, I think there's another one in the basement.
Number 8, Dawn of David's End, Shaun of the Dead. Rule number 1 to surviving a horror movie is to never ever open the door. Rule number 2 is to make sure you're locked inside with smart, self-preserving people. Somehow, David in Shaun of the Dead breaks both of those in one fell swoop.
Now, I can see what David is trying to say.
Thank you, Lizzie.
Even if he is being a twat.
He's irritable, petty, and worst of all, boneheadedly decides to start dismantling their barricade. Then, even after he's told to get away from the windows, he stubbornly refuses to move.
Right. I'm leaving.
What?
Not staying here.
Suddenly, surprise, surprise, the zombies break the glass and end up devouring him for dinner. It is a brutal end for sure, but honestly, David had this coming for so many reasons. Number 7, Ride or Die, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. On their way to a college football game, friends Buzz and Rick keep themselves entertained by causing all sorts of havoc on the Texas highway. That is, until they make an enemy of the wrong pickup truck.
What the hell is that?
From there, Leatherface puts an end to their hijinks by giving their car a new sunroof. But much to their surprise, he keeps sawing until both Buzz and Rick get some very close haircuts. Except it doesn't stop there either. And by the time Leatherface is done, Buzz doesn't have a head left at all. With this bloody detour, odds are they didn't quite make the game in time for kickoff. Number 6, Deathstroke, Let Me In.
You stay underwater for 3 minutes. If you can do it, I'll just give you a little nick.
With Owen moments away from getting drowned by his tormentors, the water was just right for some good old-fashioned payback. But Owen didn't have to hold his breath very long before Abby doled out the bloody retribution.
Dude, come on.
I said shut up!
We only see parts of the kids' bodies getting tossed around, but their muffled cries are horrifying enough to convince us it was plenty gruesome. Especially since most of it happens before Owen even comes up for air. The jerk's dismemberment sends a loud and clear message. Before picking on a kid, make sure they don't have a vampire best friend. Number 5, Cleanup on Isle Carmody, The Mist. All things considered, a supermarket is a pretty good place to hole up against monsters. The only issue is that Mrs. Carmody is there too. The religious zealot manipulates her way into being the group's judge, jury, and executioner.
Haven't I shown that I am his vessel?
Later, her vile ways come to a head when she tries to sacrifice David's young son. Alas, Carmody's misguided attempts at atonement only earn her a quick death by gunshots. One to the gut and another to the forehead. After all the blood she spilled, seeing Carmody finally cut down is practically worth a standing ovation. The fact her followers immediately back down without her is just the sweet vindication on top. Number 4, More Bite Than Bark, Snakes on a Plane. All's fair in love, war, and snakes, but even so, animals are totally off limits. At least the furry kind. After the slimy titular reptiles start slithering down the aisles of a plane, the despicable Paul decides to use a dog as a diversion. It isn't even his own. He just rips it out of a woman's hand and chucks it without hesitation. The only mercy is that the Chihuahua's death was quick. So quick, in fact, that the boa constrictor still had time to catch up with Paul.
You would have done exactly the same thing!
The snake pins him down, takes a bite out of his head, and delivers worthy justice for man's best friend. Number 3, A Marital Squabble, Saw 3.
You do is no different than murder. You torture people. You watch them die.
Jigsaw has a penchant for terrifying games of morality, but it's still a shock to see his own protege put to the test in this twist ending. Amanda denies her master's philosophies by shooting Lynn, but she fails to realize that the doctor's husband Jeff is right behind her. Before Amanda can even apologize, Jeff ensures she meets the exact same fate as his wife.
You just murdered Jeff's wife.
Apparently, bullets do fly faster than words. In a way, the immediate comeuppance fits Jigsaw's warped sense of justice perfectly.
Game over.
Although, given everything else Amanda did, death by bullet wound might be getting off easy. Number 2, A Night to Remember, Carrie. As anyone who's ever crossed her will attest, you really don't want to get on Carrie White's bad side.
Creepy Carrie! Creepy Carrie!
But apparently, Chris and Billy never got the memo. So after they cruelly ruin her prom night, Carrie proceeds to stain her dress red with more than just pig's blood. There's no way to sugarcoat it. Her psychic rampage is nothing short of a bona fide bloodbath. All those kids did was laugh. Justifiably, the real culprits suffer a much more explosive fate. And that's no hyperbole. In the end, only one thing is for certain. No one's gonna forget this prom night anytime soon. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. No space for greed. Aliens. There's something deeply poetic about the fact that Carter Burke died by the same creatures he tried to profit off of.
This is so nuts. I mean, listen to what you're saying. It's paranoid delusion.
Despite the constant warnings, he refused to allow the extermination of the aliens. Naturally, it leads to a full-on attack by the Xenomorphs. Not that Burke shows any remorse for it, though. The final straw comes when he locks the others in the operations center, presumably signing their death warrant in order to fatten his wallet. But in a moment that's worth a round of applause, he then finds himself face to face with the very Xenomorphs he let live. The death isn't pretty, but it sure is a joy to behold. Which karma moment in a horror movie disturbed you the most? Let us know in the comments.
Look at my car! Come on, prick! We're not finished yet!